What's going on, guys? I haven't posted a video in a while of this car. I figured I would, whoever's keeping up with the build is definitely liking the pictures and everything I've been posting, but even the pictures are behind. So right now we're cutting and buffing. And just to show, so this door and that quarter panel is buffed, or it's cut. Look how shiny this is. That's fine. It goes from 1,500 all the way to 5,000 grit. Ignore the mess in the shop. It's easier to keep your shop clean when you don't work out of it. So let's see down the body line. Go straight. So I'm gonna do a quick video. Cover up the engine the best I can. That way I don't get any dust in it there. But what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you how to take, because this fender's not been cut and buffed yet. And honestly, it looks pretty dang good. It's not bad. I mean, honestly, for an OEM paint job, if you were just going with the OEM paint job, that would be fine. But this is what I'm wanting. And once this is buffed, I mean, you can see the mirror shine, and it's not even been buffed yet. The cutting and buffing process just gets your paint job to the next level, because all this orange peel that you see, you might be able to see it a little bit in the camera. Let's keep looking closely. So you see all that orange peel? It's not very much. I mean, I use very expensive paint guns, and they definitely deliver a really good job. So that right there is not even been cut and buffed. This has been cut but not been buffed yet. So what it does, when you cut it, you're literally getting rid of all the orange peel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you for a little journey and show you how I do it. So I'll put you up on the stand. Adjust this a little bit. Bear with me, I'm not a tech savvy person on making sure things like the other YouTubers and everything like that do a really good job by editing. So what we're going to start out with, 1,500 grit sandpaper. So what I usually do is I take the intermediate pad off, and some of you are probably thinking, no, don't do that. Well, some people hand sand this entire thing right here. Well, unfortunately for me, last year I pulled my rotator cuff to where I had to learn to use a DA because I could not barely move my shoulder. And I was in the process of building a truck bin, and it made the process very hard. So what we're going to do is, that way we don't get any dirt rolled in the paint while we're cutting it, we're going to clean it really good. And I definitely recommend this glass cleaner. This glass cleaner, aerosol can. Get it at Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's just a good product for cleaning. But what this does is when you cut and buff something, for one, you're getting rid of any trash that might be still in the paint. I mean, because I don't care if you have a $100,000 paint booth, trash is just going to get in your paint regardless. That's just something that's going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. That way I don't hit this door. And honestly, sometimes I will cut and buff these panels off the car. Because sometimes it is a lot easier to do that. But in this case, I'm just going to cut it on the car, and that way it's done. No more installing, because As you know, most of y'all know, when you freshly paint something and you're putting it back together, the last thing you want to do is put a nick into what you just worked hard for. Because I think so far, just where I'm at right now, I think I'm at least 650 hours into this car, and I still got the interior still installed. I gotta install the vinyl top. Everything on this car has been literally making one off, because if you keep following it, you will see how most of the stuff that's going on in this car didn't come like that from the factory. So anyway, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start up here, but stay away from the edges right here. You don't want to get the edges because then you'll burn it. So. Anyway, so this is 1500. So you can kind of see, stayed away from the whole edge, because you definitely don't want to burn that edge. If you burn that edge, then it's going back in the paint booth. So, like I said, the 1500 grit stage takes the longest, and most people like to hand sand this, which you can do that. Like, it's hand sanding is what I've always done, but like I said, when I messed up my shoulder last year, it was kind of hard for me to sit there and just go back and forth. So I had to kind of learn to kind of improvise, because, yeah. So anyway, now we're going to go ahead and go with 2000 grit on a soft pad, and I'll show you what to do on that. So I'm going to put you back on the pedestal. Got your bucket of water right here. Now I'm going to use my interface pad. So I put that on there just like that. Soak in a little bit of water. Then put your 2000 grit sandpaper pad on there. And like I said, it's a sponge. So now you can roll over the corners and everything like that. And sometimes the finer you go on the sandpaper, you start really seeing like the things that you missed. So obviously there was a spot that I wasn't exactly happy with. So had to go back and just hit that with 1500 grit again. Now I'm gonna hit it with 2000 grit. So far we are at 37 minutes and 35 seconds. Just doing this one fender. We still got more to go. I mean, honestly, this is the reason why most body shops stay out of this type of work, because there's just so much time involved. And honestly, this is just something you really have to love, because the way that I look at it, like, this is artwork. And I love creating artwork in these cars in my canvas. And I'm able to build something that people that appreciate, and they're going to take it out and they're going to have fun in them. So now we're taking the 2000 grit off, and we're going with 3000 grit. Same process. now, 5,000 grit. You can see how much more shinier it's gotten. I mean, so they honestly make an 8,000 grit sandpaper, but to be quite honest, I mean, I use it every once in a while, but it really, 5,000 grit's fine. So my air hose, I guess, is about to freaking take a crap on me though, because it keeps getting air bubbles in and I keep stepping on them with top of it. So this is what we 5,000 grit. So now, man, look at that body line. That's what you want, like when you come up to a car and you look at it, like, man. Straight. Super satisfying, especially like when you start getting to the end of a job like this and things just start kind of coming back together, like, because that's the thing, you put all these hours into these cars and you're like, you only really get one day with it after you build it to really kind of just soak it all in, because then you're shipping it off to the customer, because at that point, after you've stared at it and worked on it for about almost 1,000 hours, you're like, I don't want to look at it no more. And then after you get to the customer, like, you're like, man, definitely well worth the reward of seeing a happy face. So, like I said, the reflection. So the quarter panel's done, the door and the fender's done. So now it will go on to the next stage, which is buffing. And the reason why, because I still got a bunch of chrome to put on this car, and you don't want to be putting chrome on after you've like, and then start cutting and buffing, because then you got to you got to go all through the little cracks and crevices though, and like make sure it's all clean. So I do all this first, and then I start installing things. And so this car is getting white carpet, and what a chore to find white carpet. Like, so I'm gonna probably make some pink floor mats to match the color. And yeah, I mean, the interior is pretty much done. I just got more or less just put it together, but everything's built. It's just getting the cutting and buffing done, and then everything will start going back on the car now. And that's the part that I like seeing, because it's like, after you've seen it apart for like months, and then when it starts going back together, you're just like, ah. But anyway, guys, hope this video was helpful. Like I said, I mean, there's one way to skin a cat. And if that word is offensive to y'all, I apologize. I don't mean literally skinning a cat. Don't take me literally. I just mean there's more than one way to do something. So if you don't feel like wearing your elbow out on sanding, get you a DA. Like, I got this one from Harbor Freight. I mean, this is probably about the 15th one that I've went through in the last year, but yeah, that's a whole other story for a whole other time. But get you one of those, go down to your paint and body store, get you an intermediate pad. And like I said, when I paint these cars, they will go through in the paint booth. I will paint them. I'll clear coat them with 4 coats of clear. Then I will roll them out of the booth. Then I will sand them down with 1000 grit to flatten the panel out. Because usually, like I said, you're always going to get trash in the paint. Especially if you put a sealer. Like, I had to put multiple coats of sealer on this, and I use a 3M gun. And nothing against 3M. 3M's great products, but I use their gun for my primers and all this different stuff. And when you're spraying a sealer before paint, like this one I had to put a sealer on because it's such a light pink. I mean, this pink, it showed everything. So I had to use a white sealer before I sprayed the pink to get it to where it turned out the perfect shade that I was wanting. So that had orange peel in it. And honestly, if you already start out with a surface like this, then everything that's going on top of it is just going to keep stacking. So what I'll do is when I get to I'll spray it, and then I use a high solids clear. It's a really good clear coat. It's self-leveling. So if you have a really good gun you're spraying with, usually it will take most of the orange peel out. But you're going to get orange peel. I'm sorry, but I don't care how good of a painter you are, you're going to get orange peel. Maybe not much, but you're going to get a little bit. So I'll take it out of the paint booth, let it sit for about a week or so, because the clear coat that I use is a very slow drying clear coat. I mean, the window time for cutting and buffing is up to a year. I sprayed this about 2 months ago, and I'm just now getting around to cutting and buffing it though, that's what's great, because you know, I'm a small shop. I got to jump here, jump there. So this gave me time to kind of get everything I needed to get situated on the car and let it sit, cure out, and then I'll finish the cutting and buffing. But honestly, most people will call this a flow coat after you cut it and then you spray it. And like I said, there was very little orange peel in it. But like I said, I like a mirror shine, especially when a customer is giving me, you know, something they're going to be passing down the family. They're going to be giving to somebody. Like, I want the car to look as best as it possibly can. So cutting and buffing definitely gives you that extra shine because orange peel, honestly, once you start cutting and buffing something though, you're probably never going to let something go out of your booth without cutting and buffing it. But like I said, anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I still got more videos I'll be making on this car, but there she is. And like I said, I'll do a video on buffing it. I'll show you exactly, like, here's my little buffing station. I use a little Capsy 3M I'll do a video on that of buffing it once I get the driver or the passenger side cut down. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you later.